Hello and welcome! So we're looking for decks to cover for this week, of course, which can be quite difficult, so that's a lot of fun. Either way, I found this deck. It's a Seraph based deck, mainly using that as your win condition, but it teched in a couple of the new cards at least, so I thought that'd be a little bit of fun. I mean, we got Forgotten Sanctuary, and we also got Sister of Judgment, which I still find to be quite an awkward card, but as a 2-of, it's actually not as bad as I was expecting. Overall, the best way to win with this deck, of course, is to drop Seraph, have it proc at some point, and then just spam all your countdown stuff to really remove it as immediately as possible. Otherwise, it's just drawing the match out until that point. We also get a chance to use our leader version of Godsworn, so that's a lot of fun. But we're going to get right into this and check it out. So kicking things off, we've actually got a Haven versus Haven match, and they also had the Godsworn leader. The only real thing with this deck I found was super awkward is that it's very easy to kill it off because it is a more control-centric deck, thus meaning it loses to a lot of different matchups at the moment in the current meta. So I definitely would not recommend this as a competitive deck, but it was nice to experiment and give it a fair go. So kicking us off fairly well, I mean, we've got an okay lineup as far as 2 to 3 goes. Now it's just a matter of finding a way to mitigate turn 4 to 5. I don't mind playing my 1-3 out though. I actually prefer to do that over playing out Golden City straight away, as Golden City only takes advantage of a few cards. So it's kind of beneficial to play Golden City pretty much any other time. You don't need it to be immediately on 2. Because, I mean, Seraph doesn't take advantage of it. Borog does, and Jeweled Priestess does, but they're about the only 2 cards that can really take full advantage of Golden City in this deck in a pretty effective way. But it is a nice way to thin out your deck for free, so when I get the chance I usually like to activate it. So this deck's going for a lot of healing our opponent, just absolutely spamming the board right now. So I am going to get a chance. I decided to go for the white diamond because it's not going to make much of a difference with the Hallowed Dogma to go for some more draw power, as I was severely lacking in cards right now. Which I think was an okay move. I probably could have just passed the turn, but I didn't want to risk our opponent flooding the board with some crazy things. Looks like they are playing a Summit Temple deck, which might work in our favor a little bit. So we are going to lose this Omen of Repose, but I think that's worthwhile if I can get my own 6/6 out. We can also go for our Unicorn, giving us just that little bit of extra healing. I mean, that's going to buy us a little bit of time, luckily. Assault Priest, a card I actually wouldn't mind testing out. Seems to be fairly decent. There's a lot of decks that I want to give a good go to, but I am waiting to see some more kind of pop up, some more refined lists so I can cover them more consistently. At the moment we're just covering some random things that I found that look to have some interesting components to them. So we go Lapis, Glory Seraph. I couldn't quite get it killed off, but getting it down to be a 9/2 is pretty okay as long as they don't banish it. That is the only risk. Oh, actually no, banishment, sorry, is fine. It's transform, sorry, that's the only issue. Transforming it is the only problem. So I do make a small misplay here. Instead of doing that, I actually should have traded the Seraph, had it proc, and then actually just dropped it 4 times. I didn't realize I had 4 drops available to me that would have been perfect. I could have went Hallowed Dogma, Gruda, and then Omen, which would have been exactly 9 play points and would have ended the game immediately. So I definitely took a huge risk there. Of course, since they had Summit, it wasn't quite as bad, but if they had have ended up having the Heavenly Angel guy, Heavenly Knight, we would have actually had game over and we would have been in some serious trouble. But I think I could have dropped, I think dropping it, yeah, 4 times is all you need. So I would have been able to go for an immediate lethal. It's just a little lucky that we didn't end up getting absolutely stomped that time by making a misplay, but since I do recognize that misplay and give you the guys heads up, I mean, this is still a fairly decent game. I just could have won it the turn earlier and had a lot less risk involved. Now, following on from that game, we've actually go straight into a game against Rune. Rune decks do get fairly interesting as far as they go right now. If you watched my last video, it's a very different Rune deck than what we've seen for a little while. Forgotten Sanctuary. I do actually kind of like that card. It's just a difficult one to get to use effectively without having obviously a decent amount of setup beforehand. Just playing it out usually doesn't feel quite as nice right now. So kicking off with the Mysterian Knowledge, not a good sign for us. I take this chance to go for the Jeweled Priestess, as I'm definitely going to need more draw power over the Golden City. Even though I probably could have went Golden City, Jeweled Priestess, White Diamond. I did decide to forego that in this matchup. Trying to get whatever I can on the board as early as I could. This next turn was one I had to really decide what I wanted to do, so I did decide to take the Golden City chance. Probably should have played White Diamond, honestly, but this is still pretty reasonable. Because White Diamond still would have had one from their knockdown this turn, so really I was just wasting my chance at playing it. But not too bad. Again, I probably could have done the White Diamond first. I think I just completely neglected White Diamond at that point and then went, oh, probably should play it now. As it definitely would have saved us a little bit of time. But we're still not in a bad spot overall. We're about to get a 6-6, so that's going to be helpful. Ars Magna, sorry. Not very effective right now against what we've got. And we got Gem Princess, and we also got our win condition Lapis, so we should be pretty well set up as far as going for lethal is. We just need to be able to get it on the board. As if we can get it and have it removed, we can actually go for Gruda, Hallowed Dogma in a more effective way. But considering they just played Rayo, I don't think that's going to be a good option. At least right this second, because of course we do have to remove that, and that's going to cost us the 6-6 to do so. If I had the Evo, it would have been better. I could have actually procced the Lapis immediately, and probably just won the game next turn, but I did end up sacrificing Evos to survive a little bit better. But now's our chance to do as much as we can. So it's going to be Hallowed Dogma. Unfortunately, I didn't draw another proc. I was really hoping I would, because then the Garudas would actually be decent play. So I did decide to favor some healing and developing my board with some removal. Since I can always play Garuda next turn, since it's not going to go off this turn. Because they remove Lapis, no matter what, we're screwed, so we may as well at least try and develop our board to stop ourselves from taking too much face damage. It is a little bit of a pity. I would have loved to have actually pulled another way to proc that. Then we would have had a guaranteed lethal and it would have been an amazing turn, but drawing it out one more turn wasn't a big deal in this matchup. It was very easy to do. And I decided to go for the actual Ruler of Storms play, just straight into the Seraph play. So it worked out quite nicely.
Impressive. Looks like you won.
So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. While I did mention this deck isn't the best deck, and it's probably not one I would recommend, as it is fairly legendary heavy, which can make it very hard for a lot of people to play, and it obviously isn't that good in the current meta. It was a little bit of fun, and I quite enjoyed having a go of it, and I hope I made at least a semi-interesting video for you guys. So, if you guys want to hit the like button and subscribe for more content, you'll find deck lists in the description below. Until next time, see ya.